Call the meeting to order. Call the roll.
Trustee Healy. Here. Trustee Katsinas.
Here.
Trustee Milani.
Here.
Trustee Campus.
Here.
Trustee Reardon.
Here.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Here.
Mayor Picow.
Here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the October 7th, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Katsinas.
I move to approve the minutes of the Board of Trustees meeting of October 7th, 2024.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Milani.
Aye.
Trustee Campus.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Picow.
Aye.
Citizens and visitors for agenda-specific public comment.
We have one signed in. Reminder, 3 minutes, no clapping, no yelling, no, and the board will not necessarily engage you. It's your opportunity to speak, and then we will debate the matter later. James Olquin, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is Jim Olguin. I'm here on behalf of the property owner that is subject to the annexation proposal that's later on in the agenda. Per what occurred at the last meeting, we did have an opportunity to receive a revised memorandum of understanding regarding the annexation. For the most part, the changes weren't exactly what we were looking for, but in the spirit of compromise, we believe that the changes that were recommended by the village attorney were appropriate. There were two concerns. I think one of them we were able to resolve with Ken earlier this evening. But the crux of the issue that we had still remains, and that issue is that the agreement terminates upon the transfer or sale of the property. And as I mentioned before, my client's property is set off over 600 feet from the roadway. So being forced to connect to sewer and water, which is the only thing that we're trying to get extended, even if we transfer or sell, is a significant and has a very significant monetary impact on my client. Throughout the entire process, once again, the village has indicated that they're not going to require the connection of sewer and water as long as the facilities operate. And we have no problem with that as well. But the way that it's currently written, if we transfer it, we either have to come before the board and ask for it to get renewed again, or it automatically terminates. Meanwhile, all the obligations contained within the agreement that affect my client and my client's property continues on in perpetuity. So we have a situation where the benefits that we were, that were being promised by the village, those expire, but the obligations continue on forever. And we were a little bit surprised that that change wasn't made, because I believe, at the prior meeting, the direction to staff was to, as to those particular items, to allow those to continue after there's a transfer or a sale. In terms of, I believe there were some concerns in terms of, either livestock or any particular business uses. There are provisions in the agreement where those expire, and we have no problem with that. The only thing that we're concerned about is making sure that we are not necessarily required to connect sewer and water in the future, or our subsequent owners, as long as those facilities continue to operate. So that's really the main issue that remains outstanding, and we would appreciate direction and to staff to approve that change to the agreement. And I believe there was one additional concern about whether
30 seconds.
Sure. What impact in that about the future development of the property. The property is coming in as the most restrictive zoning classification in the village. So any development of that property will obviously come before you, and you will have an opportunity to have a say on whether something is approved or not. So once again, thank you for your consideration, and we hope that you provide that direction to staff. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anybody else here to speak? Okay.
Next on the agenda, accounts payable October 8th, 2024 through October 21st, 2024.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Healy.
I move to approve the accounts payable October 8th, 2024 through October 21st, 2024 in the amount of $6,363,159.18.
Second.
Any comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Reardon?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Trustee Campus?
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.
Consent agenda.
Consent agenda, item A, payroll for October 11, 2024. Item B, special event permit for Orland Square Mall, Santa arrival party and tree lighting, 400 people. Item C, special event permit for Zen B pasta sampling event at Jewel, 300 people. Item D, Tyler zero cost change order to allocate hours for data conversion. Item E, 9953 West 143rd Street, Abood Medical Spa re-roof certificate of appropriateness. Item F, Anna B Antiques tear off and re-roof certificate of appropriateness. Item G, Lou Kasich Yoga and Wellbeing Center re-roof and siding 14314 Union Avenue certificate of appropriateness. Item H, Village of Orland Park Village Hall generator fence 14700 Ravinia Avenue certificate of appropriateness. Item I, 9999 West 143rd Street, Chute Realty Executives re-roof certificate of appropriateness.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Malani.
move to approve items A through I of the consent agenda.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Trustee Campus?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Reardon?
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.
Next item, 14555 to 14567 82nd Avenue annexation.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Reardon.
I move to adopt an ordinance entitled an ordinance annexing property 14555-14567 82nd Avenue surrounded unincorporated area and authorize the village manager to enter into a memorandum of understanding with 90 days of the passage of the ordinance subject to village attorney review. Within 90 days, I apologize.
Second.
I guess if I could ask Attorney Fricker, if I could ask you to just let me know what gaps are. It sounds like the only gap is the whether it terminates upon sale.
Yes, that's correct. Mr. Oldine has accurately represented to the board the main issue, and that's the transferability or the binding effect of the agreement on future owners. As the board may recall, although this particular annexation only involves 2 parcels on the east side of 82nd Avenue, just south of 143rd Street, the memorandum of agreement was drafted as a template agreement for all parcels that were going to be annexed pursuant to 7113 of the municipal code. That is, areas that are totally surrounded by the village or the Village and Forest Preserve District, which is the case here. It was originally intended as sort of an agreement, a personal agreement between the village board and the current owners, that the property would be bound by this agreement for as long as the current owners owned the property. It wouldn't bind future owners and go on for years as a typical annexation agreement would. So the idea was that it would cease at the time of transfer or its conveyance of the real estate, subject to the property owner, the new property owner, coming before the board and seeking an extension. So that's the main issue of contention.
And allowing this to go transfer would essentially bind future boards, correct?
It would.
Okay. Any comments from trustees?
Mr. Mayor?
Trustee Healy.
So it seems to me like there'd be a harm to their market value when they go to, at that next turn of events, when they sell the property, that the next person now would be bound to that.
Well, I think, I mean, that's a possibility that a new owner would be concerned about being coerced or forced into connecting to the village utilities, but that's the current situation right now. If the septic system fails right now, or the well fails right now, as I understand it, the county's not going to give any additional permits. They're going to have to connect to the village utilities. So I think that issue would face any future property owner. All the village is saying is, as of right now, the village is not going to require the current owner to connect to the village utilities. What happens in the future when the property is sold, the village may still maintain that position. But it's possible that the owner would say, the new owner would say, I'm concerned that I'm going to have to connect to the village utilities. The village has never done that before, in my experience with the village. But as the mayor has pointed out, future boards may have a different view.
We don't know what's going to happen in the future, so we can't tie the hands. The village has never done that before. We still have people on well and septic. I mean, they're not a lot, but we have some in some of our areas that have been annexed.
Yes.
So on the flip side, I think, Trustee Healy, to your point, is that they may also get more value because they are now annexed into Orland Park. So there's, because it's already done. So I mean, I don't know that we can necessarily predict that.
Thank you.
But I do know, from a board's perspective, we can't foresee what's going to happen in 10 or 15 years and tying the hands of a future board. I would hope that they have the same, and I think when we've put water and sewer in other places, we haven't actually made the homeowners pay. As I recall, for some of these.
Just a standard connection fee, and then, of course, they have to do their own engineering to run the line from the.
Right, but I
village
mean, some of the
main.
places that we've done it, I think where we've done it in a group or whatever, the village has, certainly some of the stormwater stuff, the village has just absorbed all of that.
Right, and I think in this case, this particular case, the main is already there, the water mains
Right.
and the sewer mains are already there.
Okay.
Thanks.
Any other comments? So, from my perspective, we've given a lot of bites to the apple here, and pretty much we're down to this one thing, which is, from my perspective, we're not going to move off of. I mean, at the end of the day, we can't tie the hands of a future board. And we also can't predict the positives and or negatives to the property value of being annexed versus having this. And of course, they can always come in and ask the board and extend the agreement. So, but that way it doesn't tie the hands of a future board.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that we would, our current board as it exists would want to force any of that on anyone.
Mr. Mayor, that's what I was going to ask. How long is this current agreement? I mean, I know there's no plans of selling it. It's not for sale right now, but how long does this agreement go? Just as long as the person owns?
As long as the current owner owns the property, correct.
For the sake of, hypothetical, if in April, this exact same board is here, he comes back again and says, okay, we all still don't want to force people to connect, then we have that future board so that can continue on in that same way if we decide.
That's correct.
Right. And I think the point you made that if something goes wrong with the well now or after they sold, they have the same options. If the county isn't going to continue to, approve the permit, they would have to connect then at that point anyway, either way, whether it's now or a new owner.
Right, once their system fails or the well fails, yes.
And there are a lot of places in Cook County where that's happened and people are actually begging to annex and the towns won't take them.
Correct.
So, that's my perspective on this. I mean, obviously, we'd like the MOU to be done already, but they'll still have 90 days to get the MOU done as well. So, that's kind of my take. Any other comments? No one? Call the roll.
Trustee Reardon?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Trustee Campos?
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.
Downtown Orland Park Ordinance proposing special service area number 12.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Campos.
move to adopt an ordinance entitled, an ordinance of the Village Board of the Village of Orland Park proposing the establishment of a special service area in the Village of Orland Park, Cook and Will Counties, Illinois, and the levy of taxes for the purpose of paying the cost of providing special services in and for such area to be known as Special Service Area Number 12, and providing for a public hearing and other procedures.
Second.
So what this is to approve moving forth with this. This is the special service area for the downtown triangle, which if there's maintenance associated with it that we have to pay or that the developer stops doing and then we have to pay for it, that we can then impose that on that tax on those properties in that area, because they have made in their development agreement that they'll maintain it. So this is being put in place so that that can be done. Did I adequately explain that? Yep. Attorney Walsh? Okay, great. Anybody have any questions or comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Campos.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Removal of hearing officers text amendment.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Compass.
I move to approve the removal of hearing officers text amendment, and I move to adopt an ordinance entitled, an ordinance amending the Land Development Code of the Village of Orland Park as amended.
Second.
Yeah, so this is getting rid of our zoning board of appeals, which can be done at our planning commission. I think they've met once. You've been on it for 6 years? So almost 6 years, and they've never met. So it's there if we need it. But basically what this deals with is existing properties, like they want a variance on their shed or something like that. That's what it deals with. And our planning commission is more than capable of dealing with that. So we don't need to have two redundant boards with, 7 people hanging around that never meet. So that's what, this is just kind of cleaning up that.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Katsinas?
the Planning Commission voted unanimously to do this as well.
Yep. Any other comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Campos.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Recreation and Parks Program Guide Printing, RFP 24-055.
Mr. Mayor,
Chairman,
Trustee Radiszewski.
I move to approve awarding RFP number 24-055 to Indiana Printing and Publishing Company, Inc. for a total amount not to exceed $47,312 in year one, $59,316 in year two, and $61,392 in year three, and authorize the village manager to execute all related contracts, subject to village attorney review.
Second.
So I'm looking at the tabs here, and those numbers, those total numbers in year 2 and 3 seem pretty high relative to what we see here. So can you help me with that a little bit? Because I'm looking at the summary.
It's a per issue cost, so the first year would be $19,104 per issue, and then you can see the subsequent years. Second year is $19,772, and the third year is $20,604.
Well, okay, so and how many issues?
28,000 at each delivery, so each issue of the 3 total is 28,000 times 3.
Okay. So each of these is times 3.
Correct.
So 57,312, just shy of 60,000, 61,000 is what I have here. And here I've got 47,312, 59,316, and 61,392. Is that a error in calculation for year one?
It is. Thank you for pointing that out. I noticed that as well, and was hoping someone would notice that. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so let me go back to this. So I'll entertain a motion to amend the motion to year one, $57,312.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll on the amendment.
Trustee Campos.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. Any other comments on the
Mr. Chairman,
trustee Malani?
I'd like to make a amendment to the motion as well to say at the end of the clause, in year 3 with an option to renew for 2 additional years, 2028 and 2029.
Second.
Any comments on that amendment? Call the roll on the second amendment.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Trustee Campos?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Reardon?
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye. So are there any comments on the,
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I mean, we're printing this 3 times a year. Is that what I'm understanding? That
Yes.
this is going out 3 times a year. Is all this stuff also online and information available? I mean, I'm not,
it's also online, yes.
and I mean, are we using these? I mean, are people picking these up and they're using them? And
We mail them. They give you it at your house.
I mean, I've got it at my house. I'm just trying to figure out, I mean, this is pretty significant cost to print a,
Yeah, we got rid of them at one point and tried to go online, but people just didn't have
Went
them.
crazy?
We had a lot of- Yeah, and they went kind of
Okay.
crazy, and so
Well,
we
that's
brought
kind
it.
of what I want to hear, so that if someone looks at it and says.
We have tried that. We did that in 2019 and 2020.
That's what I'm getting at, is that we've
and
tried
we
to go
brought
the
it
other
back.
way, and that it's justified. We have to, people to use it correctly, and so people aren't calling them a million times. We still have to give it out to them. Okay, that's what I want to know.
Yep. So, any other comments? Question is put to approve awarding RFP number 24-055 to Indiana Printing and Publishing Company, Inc. for a total amount not to exceed $57,312 in year 1, $59,316 in year 2, and $61,392 in year 3, with options for year 4 and year 5. Call the roll.
Trustee Radiszewski?
Aye.
Trustee Reardon?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Trustee Campos?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.
Then Title VII, Chapter 4, Number of Class A Liquor Licenses Ordinance.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Malani.
move to adopt an ordinance entitled, an ordinance amending Title VII, Chapter 4 of the Orland Park Municipal Code regarding the available number of Class A licenses issued by the Village of Orland Park, Cook and Will Counties, Illinois.
Second?
And Jim, this was for Seasons 52, correct?
I believe it's, is it Tony's Pizza?
You're correct. We already did Seasons 52. This is Tony's Pizza. So Tony's Pizza is adding to their restaurant and offering table service and liquor. Any comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Trustee Campos?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Reardon?
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.
Any citizens or visitors for public comment on items relevant to village business?
Anyone here to speak on any other items? Great.
Board comments?
Board comments. Where should we start today? Trustee Radiszewski.
I don't have much, but I do want to say thank you to Joel and his team. Prior to the board meeting, since we didn't have the committee of the whole, we spent that time reviewing the pump station, and it was really impressive. I mean, these are things that are important for us to know because they're things that we vote on. We make decisions, regarding this. And so it's not, it was an opportunity to actually see things just live, in person, actually be there and just have a better, deeper understanding of all that goes into, our water system and the redundancy and the needs. And I think we take it for granted when we turn water on in our house or, you're watering the lawn or taking a shower and the water just comes on. And you don't really think about all that goes into it. And the system that we have is quite impressive. We're very fortunate to have that and to have such wonderful people like Joel and your team that do that. So I just want to say thank you for spending that time. I appreciate it.
Trustee Katsinas.
Just wanted to remind people, in conjunction with Orland Township, we're having a hazardous waste day here at the Village Hall, November 2nd. We do ask that you please pre-register and please look at orlandpark.org for further information. Thank you.
Trustee Malani.
Thank you, Trustee Katsinas, for stealing my news for tonight. So we're gonna move on to the Turkey Trot coming up on November 28th. So looking forward to seeing everybody there. I'll cheer you on from the sidelines and you guys can enjoy running. I don't know why anybody wants to do that to their body. And also, our Christmas Parade and Tree Lighting Festival is on the calendar now for December 1st. So looking forward to have a hopefully good weather for that, for the parade, for the kids, and the tree lighting as well. So thank you, and have a great night.
Trustee Healy.
Mr. Mayor, I have two comments tonight. The first one is to tack on to Joni's, is that Joel, you and your guys gave us a great tour. And I wish I could remember the two guys' names, but they were really terrific. I had a chance to talk to them before. They're members of the AFSCME union, and that's where the...
Tony and Kevin?
Pardon me?
And Jake? Tony and Jake today? Okay.
They were true professionals. They were so comfortable with their answers to every question they have. Most of my questions have an and a duh in there. They were just specific and just totally friendly and everything like that. That was, I wish I could, explain things as well as they did. And it was a great tour. The second thing is I'd like to compliment Orland Township. I went and voted today. I'm not going to tell you who I voted for, but the Orland Township organized, I don't know if it was Orland Township or the voting people or whatever, but they combined the great weather outside and some of the lines were extended there, but they seemed like the process went on very well and it was very crowded, but the voting, I think they had a good system of processing people and it really didn't take all that much time. And so I'm going to give Orland Township the credit for organizing that. So thanks to that. And if you're going to vote like I am, I encourage you to get out and vote. And if you're not, don't.
Trustee Compass.
So tonight, I'd like to take a moment to recognize two exceptional members of our engineering team whose dedication and expertise drive the success of village operations. I know Director Hoda's not here tonight, but I remember when we were talking about the budget, I was thinking about all the things you have to do to get an engineering degree. You have to be good in math, good in physics, good in paperwork, apparently now too, with grant chasing, being responsible for getting tens of millions of dollars. And just the engineering department has just been absolutely phenomenal in making sure that our village operations go smoothly. First, I'd like to commend Diana Porcelli, our office support supervisor. Diana plays a critical role in our engineering team. Her attention to detail and unwavering persistence ensure that she successfully carries out every responsibility she takes on from start to finish. She expertly manages engineering contracts, billings, grant fund collections, and both operational and capital improvement plan budgets. Her work strengthens our team, and she earns the respect and appreciation of her colleagues through consistent results. Next, I'd like to acknowledge Jeffrey Galgan, Public Improvement Technician 2. Jeff approaches his work with dedication and brings extensive knowledge in field installations, whether it's concrete, asphalt, utilities, or ADA ramp data collection. He has led the effort to gather field data on all ADA sidewalk ramps, ensuring that this critical information is now readily available on the village's GIS system. Jeff's contributions make a significant impact, and we are honored to have him on our team. Their commitment and hard work exemplify the dedication that keeps our village moving forward, and I proudly recognize their efforts tonight. Thank you.
Trustee Reardon.
Last but not least, yeah, I was on the tour as well. So Joel, your guys are completely professional. It just goes in line with everything I've seen for 3.5 years now, whether it's police department, whether it's the Parks and Rec, the people who work for Orland Park, besides, us up here who do what we try to do, they really they're really dedicated. They're dedicated to their job, they're dedicated to the town. So it's just another continuation of everything I've seen. So congratulations to your guys and thanks for the tour. I want to welcome Jim and Brian, or Jim Collada and Brian West as our village manager and our assistant village manager. Smooth transition and people are in good hands, so welcome. I see that Portillo's is almost, they got the structure going up. My kids are very excited when they rode by. And my daughters heard that Lululemon is coming, so they're very excited as well to the mall. So doing good things. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Keep things quiet at home.
I knew Lululemon was a big thing when girls were like 7 or 8 of them. I think one of them was your daughter in the pack, or one of your daughters. And I said, "What do you got?" They had a dress. I said, "What are you girls doing?" They yelled, "Mr. Mayor, Mr. Mayor." And I said, "What are you girls doing?" "Oh, homecoming." And then someone said, "Did you have a hand in bringing Lululemon?" And I said, "Well, yeah, they're coming." And they go, "We love you." And I was like, "Okay, the high school girls are happy Lululemon's coming, so that's awesome." So, Wayne, how are you doing? You doing good? Good. So, I know. So Wayne was a volunteer at our veterans thing and had a little health scare there. So glad to see you up and running. So that's awesome. So early voting has started, as Trustee Healy said. And reminder, Orland Township, I think it's the busiest early voting place in Cook County. So and they do a great job. So please. You know, it's one way to get done and not have the lines on the last voting day and make sure you're like, you know, the weather doesn't impact you or whatever. So the water system, I'm glad everyone did the tour. It's obviously a very complicated system. It's also very important. And I remember one trustee who'd been here for 30 years who said, you know, well, we need to paint these water towers with all these, you know, goofy murals and everything because the businesses, it'll be good for business. I'm like, our water towers serve a purpose. They're not there for being pretty. The purpose they serve is to pressurize a water system. So, so I highly recommend. A couple weeks ago, we did a water video. You know, we're doing these village videos. We put out number 3 today, but I think number 2 was the water system. So I highly recommend going and watch that because they basically give you the same tour that our trustees got today. So I highly recommend that. Also, I've seen some commentary on Catalina. I realized Catalina delayed on the street surfacing because we found, and Joel, correct me if I'm wrong, because we found utilities that were not marked there, correct? And the utilities companies have not been out there to move them yet. So we couldn't finish the street program this year. Obviously, we don't want to resurface the street and then dig up the street to move the utilities to where they need to be. So unfortunately, it means a little bit of an extra season or winter of suffering, but we'll make sure the snow's cleaned and all of that, and everything's good for that. So thank you for your patience on that, but that's part of the price we pay to get the roads done, getting all the water project, because we didn't just have roads there, we had water and sewer and a lot of other stuff, because Catalina is, you know, 50 years old. So it needed a little bit more work than just resurfacing. Also, over just the east of Catalina, you have the water project from Oak Lawn that's going through there. So although it's connected to us, and we've done most of Wheeler, I think east of 80th Avenue, Wheeler is not going to be done yet, correct? Yep. Okay. So, but pretty much east of 80th Avenue is where we may not be done yet. So we may not be completely finished with Wheeler, but the western portion of it, for the most part, will be done, correct? And thank you for, you know, your patience through that because, you know, you just happen to live where the big water main comes through. So I think you might live over there, right, Jeff? Yeah. So it's, you know, it's just an unfortunate, I mean, you got to deal with it a little bit, but it's a lot better to have redundant water system than and suffer with that for a couple of years. So thank you to everyone for putting up with that. And look forward to our wintertime events, including the turkey trot and the Christmas tree lighting. So really look forward to that. And enjoy this great warm weather we're having in October and bonus golf for those of you who are golfers. And enjoy the remainder of the month. I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session for a short executive session.
Mr. Chairman.
Trustee Compass.
I move to go into executive session for pending litigation against, affecting, or on behalf of the village, or when found by the board that such action is probable or imminent.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Campos.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Milani.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. Go into executive session.